hoping to bounce back under their new manager, Wilfried Nancy. Or Wilfried Nancy. I don't know how I'm pronouncing it. It's some French way. I don't know. But either way, he is in charge tonight, hoping to bounce back after that defeat to Hearts, the Jambos at the weekend. Difficult result for Celtic, that. And still second behind Hearts, albeit they do have a game in hand. And now, listen, they play Roma tonight. Roma have already been to Glasgow once, haven't they? They beat Rangers earlier this season. Are they going to come back and beat Celtic, do the Glasgow double? Who knows? Tone70 says, not looking forward to this. Celtic have umpteen players out injured and have had for months. Well, listen, let's go through the lineups, because some fabulous players for both sides, really. But I'm looking forward to seeing quite a few of the players for Roma. Sorry, I'm just going through the results from earlier. I didn't even see a lot of the results from earlier. Nottingham Forest beating Utrecht 2-1. We'll come through those in a minute, but let's have a look at the lineups. For Celtic, it's Kasper Schmeichel in goal. It's Trusty, Scales and Kieran Tierney in a back three. It's Yang and then Tunekti at the wing-back positions. McGregor and Engels in midfield, and then Hatate off the right. Maeda through the middle with Nygren off the left, Benjamin Nygren. Those three at the front will cause Roma absolutely some problems. For Roma, it's Milos Villar in goal, Evan Ndicka, Hermoso and Mancini at the back. Divine Wrench and Shelik off the wing-back positions. Matthias Sula, El Ainui and Pisili in midfield. And then it's El Shaarawy and Evan Ferguson, 21-year-old Brighton loanee Evan Ferguson up front for Roma tonight. What do we make of that? Let me know in the comments what you're thinking. Big game, this one. I'm not really sure what to predict, I've got to be honest with you. TikTok, I'm not ignoring you. Let me come to you. I can see the comments coming in. Good to see you, Tom. Good to see everyone. Let me know in the chat on YouTube where you're up to. You can go over there. Will, how's it going, Will? Cheers for that, mate. Thank you. Angry Gin says, I'm going to place a bet at least 1 pen and over 12 fouls for the Sunderland game. There will definitely be some fouls in that game. We'll be live for it, absolutely. Liam Manning, hey, Key, how's it going? Jake, how are you? I'm good, man. How are you? MK13 says, bro, Palestine and Saudi is in the second half of extra time. Really? Is that in the Arab Cup, is it? Liam Manning says, good win for Robbie Keane. And Will says, is Dybala injured for Roma then, Key? I would assume so. There are a lot of injuries tonight. I mean, let me take a look. No, Dybala's on the bench. As is Leon Bailey, as is Kostas Tsimikas, of course, Liverpool loanee. Kone, Pellegrini, lots of good Wesley Franca, lots of good players, Brian Cristante, Angelino, ex-Man City, lots and lots of good players on the bench for Roma. For Celtic, it's Balikwisha, Bernardo, Donovan, Ian Acho's on the bench, John Joe Kenny, McCowan, Murray, Ralston and Sinisalo. Johnny Kenny, sorry, not John Joe Kenny. Johnny Kenny, apologies. It's a completely different footballer. Celtic, obviously, look, Celtic missing a lot of players themselves. Carter Vickers still out. Forrest, Johnston, Jota is out injured. Tarachi. It's Wilfried Nancy against Gasperini tonight. So big game in Europe. I do think this is the game to watch tonight. Honestly, there's Aston Villa against Bâle. But I think Villa will wipe the floor with them. I know it's in Bâle and it's a bit of a difficult away trip to St Jacobs Park, but I think Villa should wipe the floor with them. I really do. What are we saying? Sorry, Jake. Thoughts on Voltemada Key? Massive dive, Jake. Yeah, it was a massive dive, wasn't it? Let's be honest. It's a huge dive. Jake, there's going to be a red card on Sunday. I don't know who for. And Craig, Celtic to win, I think. I think so too, Craig. Yeah, I think so too. And Will says, what's the Celtic lineup? Obviously, Schmeichel. I'll go through it again. Go on, I'll go through it again. We have just done it. So Celtic lineup is Schmeichel in goal, Trusty, Scales, Tierney, Yang, McGregor, Engels, Tunekti, Hatate, Maeda, and Nygren. But I agree, Celtic will win this one. I'm pretty confident. But yeah, listen, I want to talk about a few things tonight. Not just obviously the Celtic game. The Celtic game is a big one, but we've seen quite a few results already throughout Europe this afternoon. Dynamo Zagreb 1, Betis 3, Ferencvaros beating Rangers. Robbie Keane's side getting a win over Rangers. Miovski again scoring. He's on fire at the minute, isn't he, for Rangers? About the only thing about Rangers that is on fire, to be fair. Ludogorets 3-3 with PAOK. Midtjylland 1-0 against Genk. Nice Braga 1-0, Sturm Graz 0, Red Star 1, Stuttgart 4, Tel Aviv 1, Utrecht 1, Forest 2. Kalimwendo and Igor Jesus with an 88th minute winner in that one. Chimey, how's it going? Good to see you. And Abdullah, do you think Sunderland or Newcastle? I do. I think it's going to be Sunderland this weekend. Newcastle played really poorly in that first half yesterday. It just caused me a little bit of a cause for concern, I think. Just a little cause for concern. Not sufficient that I'm like panicking, but, you know, enough that I'm a little bit, not sure about that. Not sure about Newcastle. Just an odd start yesterday. So yeah, I think Sunderland will definitely get at least a point. I'd be surprised if Sunderland didn't get at least a point against Newcastle. Newcastle are a very good side, but I just feel like they're a little bit all over the place at the minute. Jake, do you still not rate Voltemada then, Key? Yeah, of course I rate him. He's a good player. There's no doubt about, I rate him. I thought that was a massive dive last night. That's it. There's nothing about him, not rating him. I like him, though. Abdullah, do you think we beat Brighton? I'm live for that one on Saturday, Abdullah. I'm live for Liverpool-Brighton, 3 o'clock Saturday. I am looking forward to that one. It might well be Salah's last ever game in a Liverpool shirt. It might not be. Maybe it's his absence will be the most notable thing. I'm sure some fans will sing Mo Salah, but I think even more will sing Arne Slot. We've already seen all the away fans singing Arne Slot, and I think that's the resounding message here, is that Mo Salah is bang wrong, and he should have done better. He should know better. Alex, how's it going? Alex Macklin. Will says, could Celta Vigo Bologna be a good game too tonight? Yeah, Celta Vigo Bologna is a good one to watch, as is Bran Fenerbahce. That's probably not a bad shout. But I just feel like this is a really big game. This is not just a really big game, but I feel like I'm expecting a Roma win. I am expecting a Roma win. I don't think that's anything necessarily to do with Celtic. I think Roma are flying at the minute, and under Gasperini they've done all right in Europe. Bit of a mixed bag, but they've done all right in Europe. Yeah, especially after early part of the season, they got beat against Viktoria Plzen, and that was at home as well. Viktoria Plzen, and who else did they lose to at home? Lille, I think it was. Bad start to their European campaign, and since then they've kind of bounced back. So I think it's going to be a good night for them. I'm expecting them to win here. But Celtic can listen. You can't give any sort of predictions like that under the lights at Parkhead. You never know what can happen. Dylan, random one, but who's winning the league for you? Who's winning League One? Sorry, which I was going to say. Christ, another Arsenal message. Sorry, what are you saying, Abdullah? For God's sake. Scoreboard's gone down, sorry. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Dylan, sorry, random one, but who's winning League One for you? Again, it's a little bit like the Championship and League Two, isn't it? It's kind of, there's about 8 or 9 teams at the top that any one of them could kind of get amongst it. I've always had a funny feeling about Bradford this year. I don't know. I mean, Lincoln's up there. I don't fancy Stockport. Something about Stockport recently. Dave Challoner, they've gone massively off the rails. We watched Stockport against Peterborough. They were awful. I mean, Peterborough were very good. Posh were brilliant. But I just feel like, I don't know. I think fingers in the drawer, I'd probably look at Bradford. Cardiff obviously is the standout one, but I don't know. It feels so tight at the top there in League One. Same in League Two. Same in the National League. Same in the Championship. There's not really any I mean, well, the Coventry is, to be fair, a runaway leader. But you certainly for the playoffs, you're looking at the playoffs, and there's about 11 teams in all leagues that can have a very decent claim. Mark J, glad you're not showing Villa, terrible side. And Will says, surely the Championship title race is between Cov and Borough, or am I completely wrong? I mean, Borough have got a good chance, but I don't think Borough... I think Borough end up in the playoffs, honestly. I think that they've done well against Hull recently, but I still don't think Borough come up, I'll be honest with you. Dylan, yeah, I'm a Cardiff fan, and Bradford were top, to be honest, best team we've played. And Tom, I would love Rodrigo. Rodrigo at Liverpool, you're saying, Tom? Abdullah says, sorry, Brendan, how's it going, Brendan? Hopefully they listen to what Gerrard said, get together, bury the hatchet and move on. Salah's still our best player despite the scapegoating. The thing is, the manager can't do any more than he's done, can he, Brendan? The manager literally can't do any more than he's done. He called a meeting before the Leeds game, spoke to him. Salah didn't like what he heard, so he told Slot what he felt. The day after they had the Leeds game, they had a meeting again. Salah is bang out of order. There's no like, oh, you know, it's on the manager. Both of them need. No, it's not. He's 33 years of age and he's a grown man and he's been at the club long enough. He's old enough and dumb enough and ugly enough to know what he should and shouldn't do, and that is bang wrong. He has to absolutely come out. It's nothing to do with his playing ability. It's nothing to do with what he's achieved or not achieved as a player. I love Mo Salah. You'll know better than most, mate. All season I've defended Mo Salah. But what he did was bang wrong. Bang wrong. Honor Permo says, I've got a feeling we are going to get split apart here. Well, close to kick-off, Celtic. Let me know what you're thinking on this one. Here we go. We're off and underway at Celtic Park. Alex, I fancy Borough to win, and Jake says we'll win. Chelsea will win. Everton and Burnley will draw to Fulham. Arsenal win v Wolves. Right. Come on, Celtic. British team. I think Roma will win, but I'm cheering for Celtic. Joe Hart and Rory Hamilton, the commentators, but not as far as you're concerned, if you've got me on. Tom says, my feeling is Salah should have been dropped ages ago. I don't think it's that bad. I still don't think he's like the worst player we've got or anything like that. He's just not been at the levels that he was last season, and that's maybe unrealistic to expect when he's 33, nearly 34. Like, he deserved his contract. It was the right decision to give him his contract, but he isn't. Yeah, he's not going to be playing at that level again. Certainly not. Mike, I think you just cash in on him. I don't think anyone will buy him off us, mate. I'll be honest. I don't think anyone buys him off us, Mike. Who's paying big money for Mo Salah and giving him a big contract? Nobody. Honor Permo says, I've got a feeling we're going to get split apart. Adrian, hi key, mate. How's it going, Adrian? And Brendan says, Slot said he hasn't spoke to Salah. And Slot said he hasn't spoke to... No, Slot said he has spoke to Salah. What are you on about? Salah said he spoke to Slot. Salah said he spoke to him. Salah himself said it. Salah himself said they had a meeting the morning before the Leeds game. The day before, 24 hours ago. Friday night or Friday afternoon. Salah spoke to Slot. They had a private meeting. The manager's definitely speaking to him. There's no problems with that. I don't know where the idea that he's not speaking to him is. I don't know where that's come from. Slot has absolutely spoken to Salah. He spoke to him before the game. He spoke to him the morning after. Mike says Saudi, 60 mil or something. I don't know. Salah's not going to go to Saudi Arabia. This is a player with an ego this big. He's got an ego this big. Do you think for 1 second he's going to Saudi Arabia? No chance. He thinks he's one of the best players in the world. And to be honest, he is. He is one of the best players in the world. But he isn't going to go to Saudi Arabia in a retirement village. He's not there yet. He's not there yet. Here's Roma into Evan Ferguson. Ball out to the far side. Oh, yeah. Tom was giving him a 2-year contract, the right decision. Yeah, it's peanuts. 35 million quid it cost. And that's if he stays the full length of the contract. So he's effectively on a free and he deserves it. He deserves it and it's the right decision, absolutely. Jordan, this is why we're the best in the world. We weaken our team to let them try and break history. I'll have to keep an eye on what's going on with Shells and Palace. LJ, how's it going, LJ? Good to see you, man. How's things? Good to see you. What's going on? Hang on. So, Conference League. Palace. Shelbourne Palace. Who's your lineups tonight, Jordan? Who have you got? Nketiah, Uche, Pino, Sosa, Kamada, Wharton, Devaney, Gay, Lacroix, Richards, Benitez. That's mate. You've basically gone full strength there. It's basically first team. What are you talking about? Right, and I need to keep an update on how Bâle and Villa are doing. Celta Vigo, Bologna, Fenerbahce have scored in Bran. Onapermo says, forgive Slot. For what? Yeah, I don't know why we would need to forgive Slot. Forgive Slot if he gets Salah back in. Forgive him for what? What? He's not done anything wrong. What's Slot done wrong? He's done nothing wrong. Salah's ego has destroyed the team, says Jake. And Tom says, I reckon he'll go to Italy. He could do. Could go to Italy. Could go to Italy. Could go to Real Madrid. Could go to City. They the places I see him going, maybe. Real Madrid, City, PSG, maybe Inter. Who knows? Leon 1. Go ahead, Eagles 1. And Lee says, Slot is a rubbish manager. That's what he's done wrong. Yeah, rubbish managers win the league in the first season, mate. Yeah, remember that. LJ says, Slot and Salah might both have to go, unfortunately. I don't think Slot goes anywhere this season, for sure. I think Slot's manager of Liverpool going into next season, definitely. And on a Permo, you can't have a player making a stink like that. Salah needs to apologise. Slot apologising shows weakness from Slot. Couldn't agree more with that. Lee says, yeah, but look how many points he won the league on. It shows how bad the season was. You can only beat who's in front of you, Lee, can't you? You can only beat... Oh, hey, it's there! It's 1-0 Roma! Oh, it's a great header. Is it Hermoso? Oh, it's Mancini. Mancini with the goal. Celtic 0, Roma 1. Early doors here. And Celtic have gone a goal down. Wilfried Nancy still sat down. He's barely got his seat warm, the lad. And they're 1-0 down. Oh, and do you know what? I was rooting for Celtic because I fucking hate them Roma fans. I hate them Roma fans. I remember going to Roma. We went away to the Stadio Olimpico watching Liverpool there. And they were absolutely awful. Absolutely awful. Great ball in this, though. And Mancini, great header. Can't really fault that. Kasper Schmeichel, no chance. What's the marking going on here? There's two of them on him. They can't get anywhere near him. Is it Scales? It is. It's Scales. What's Scales doing? Scales is wrong side. Scales is wrong side here. It's Scales and Tierney. He's sandwiched in between two Celtic defenders and he still gets up and wins it. I think that's pretty poor from Celtic. They'll be gutted with that. Scales and Tierney letting the side down. Definitely letting the side down. Ben, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Kev says Liverpool need the King Salah. The King Salah needs Liverpool. LJ says, I hope for Liverpool's part that Slot stays. Me too. Shell, evening. How's it going? Is that a new profile picture, Shell? Tone says, Schmeichel again. Quick ball to nowhere. And on a Permo, he scuffed it. Well, hey, listen, it's in the net at the end of the day. Here's Evan Ferguson. Roma pushing for the second here. Lee says, yeah, of course, but he didn't do anything special when all the teams around him were rubbish. Well, hang on a minute, Lee. You say that, but 84 points. 84 points he finished on, right? And we basically went on holiday at the end of March, didn't we? Right? So if you think about it like that, think how many games Liverpool lost between like April and May. Think how many games we lost in those last 2 months where we were literally pissed in Ibiza. The team was pissed in Ibiza. Like... I can't tell. People have a go at Slot for his man management. That is absolutely incredible. Celtic are in here. Oh, keep him out. What are you doing? Oh, fucking hell, Celtic. Come on. Unknown says Misfit Jonathan VK. Oh, he's a rat bag, him, isn't he? He's an absolute rat bag. Lee says no, because Klopp always had Man City to deal with. Slot has no one to deal with. That's just not how football works, is it, Lee? Let's be honest. You effectively have yourself to deal with. What's the biggest threat to title winners? Alex Ferguson said it. Biggest threat to title winners. It's not who you're playing, it's yourself. That's who you're fighting. You're not fighting anyone else. If you're good enough to win the league, your biggest problem is up here and yourself. It's not anyone else. Liverpool won the league because we were the best team in the league that year. On a permo for what they got beat from Ferencváros, and MT says they got beat by Robbie Keane. No shame in that. Kev says early days, time to win. Come on the hoops. Scales own goal. Has it gone down as a Scales own goal, that one, Kev? LJ, as an Everton fan, I've grown used to watching other English clubs play in Europe. UEFA coefficients help all the English clubs if English clubs perform well in Europe, so I wonder what the future is. Yeah, I mean, look, we want Villa to win, don't we, tonight? Forest have already won. Could do with a Villa win. And a Palace win, of course, against Shell. Sorry, Jordan, our Palace fan. I apologise. Lee says the players had the winning mentality last season, nothing to do with Slot. Well, I think you're quick to give Slot no credit, which tells me you're desperate for Slot to get sacked, aren't you, really? All I would say to you, Lee, is look at the players last season. Gravenberch had his best season ever. He was crap under Klopp. Absolutely best season ever. He was brilliant. Team of the year. Szoboszlai, he was average under Jurgen Klopp at best. Absolutely sensational under Slot. Mo Salah, his best season ever. Virgil van Dijk, people were saying he was washed 2 years ago under Klopp. Came back, best season, maybe one of the best seasons we've ever seen from Van Dijk last season. He was incredible. McAllister, brilliant. I mean, he's garbage this season, but he was brilliant last year. Luis Diaz was a little bit iffy, wasn't he? Under Klopp, wasn't fantastic that last season. Arne Slot. The idea that Arne Slot didn't have an impact on Liverpool is, I'm sorry, it's not based in reality. It just shows that either you're not very smart or you've got an issue with Arne Slot. Whichever one of those it is, it's got to be one of the two. Shell says on multi-view again, and LJ says it's goalless at the moment in Palace's game, and just as you say that, it's 1-0 to Palace. I don't know who it is who scored it, mind. If you know, you know, says the two most hated teams, Liverpool and Celtic. And call this at Begtalk says Mancini 33-1, first goal. Woo woo. Hang on a minute, mate. Hodgson didn't ruin Liverpool in 6 months. Did you see what Hodgson walked into at Liverpool? Like, I didn't think Hodgson was he wasn't the right choice for Liverpool. That wasn't the reason Liverpool were they were. Roy Hodgson was only manager for less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. He was gone. He was gone in like December, wasn't he? Can't say that Roy Hodgson was the reason Liverpool... You're talking out your backside, mate. Talking out your backside. Lee, yeah, and look at the damage he did in that time. Go on, enlighten me. What damage did he do in that time? You tell me, what damage did Roy Hodgson do? All the damage that was being done to Liverpool at that time was not through Roy Hodgson. It was due to the owners we had at the time. Or the owners that he'd just walked into, basically. We had a really, really frustrated squad, most of which already wanted to leave. Mascherano wanted to leave. That's nothing to do with Hodgson. Torres wanted to leave. It's nothing to do with Hodgson. Jake says, plus he had to deal with something tragic in the summer. Well, and again, people don't want to, just at the end of the day, it just boils down to that. People don't want to give Slot any credit because they've made up in their own mind that, well, they're just not very smart. That's all it boils down to. Brendan, Slot has some credit built up because of last season, but his treatment of Salah is testing some fans' patience. It's not testing the majority of fans' patience. Put it that way. The majority of fans, Brendan, are absolutely behind Arne Slot, and they are absolutely sick to the back teeth of what Mo Salah did. And Mo Salah needs to apologise, and if he doesn't, he won't play for Liverpool again. And that's very sad, given what a fantastic player he's been for us. Celtic can't really get hold of the ball here. Roman all over him. Lee says his first signing was Paul Konchesky. You listen, you're not going to get me to say that Roy Hodgson made good signings or he was a good manager for Liverpool. I've told you, I agree with you. He was shocking. But he didn't ruin Liverpool. Liverpool were ruined when he arrived. We were pretty terrible before he got there. And I'll be honest, we were pretty terrible for a good while after he left. We were terrible when he got there. We were terrible after he left. Jordan says, I never thought I'd see the day where we can have fun with attackers and still be quality. And Honor Permo says, treatment of Salah, what a joke. You can't have a 33-year-old winger not performing, running the show, essentially whinging about not getting picked. Couldn't agree more. Lee says, FSG appointed Hodgson. Yeah, but by that point, all of the damage had been done. He arrived and Mascherano wanted to leave. We weren't in the Champions League. Torres wanted to leave. We were struggling, weren't we? We were effectively, yeah, we were in the shit. He arrived to a team in the shit. That's the best way to describe it. VAR, handball, still 0-0. In what's that, pup? Who's in what game is it? VAR. Lee, I would rather Salah than Slot all day long. The thing is, Lee, if you're a Liverpool fan, you don't want either. Or you don't want to pick a side. You want both. You want both. You want the manager to be a success, and you want Salah in the side, because you know that if Salah's in the side, the manager is more likely to be a success. That's what a Liverpool fan does. Evidently, that's not you, mate, and that's fine. Celta Vigo 1, Bologna 0. Unknown says, I heard someone say every time Mo Salah gets interviewed, he says stuff he's not meant to say. He's only been interviewed about 5 times in his entire career at Liverpool. And every time, yeah, it's always something inflammatory. He's had a go at Klopp. He wants a new contract. It's always that. It is always that with him. Mad Pup says, the Aberdeen game, empty. Aberdeen defending the last bit of Scottish pride v Strasbourg. Hey, Strasbourg gave Palace a really good game last game week, didn't they? They were brilliant. Arne Slot's in that list. And absolutely, that's the way, isn't it? That is the way. You've got to keep your mouth shut, keep in-house, keep your head down, work hard. I would have expected him to be frustrated. It's fine to be frustrated. Just shut your fucking mouth and get on with it. Lee says, Salah has been at Liverpool for 9 years. Salah has been one of the best players we ever had. Who are you arguing with, Lee? You're arguing, mate, you're fighting... you're fighting ghosts here, man. You're throwing windmills at ghosts. No one's made that point. No one's arguing that Salah's been anything other than an absolute legend at Liverpool, and he's still one of the best players in the world. I've said it all season. But he's still, right now, being a disrespectful little prick. And he needs to sort his life out. He needs to come out and apologise and own up to it. That's it, bottom line. Nothing else. And you'd be amazed, by the way, how quick it would get sorted. It would be done overnight and forgotten about. Liverpool fans will be very forgiving with him. No problem. The manager would welcome him back in with open arms. He's desperate for him. But he's got to say, I'm sorry, I messed up. I mean, he doesn't, and that's the problem. He doesn't think he's messed up. He doesn't think he's messed up. Lee, we haven't got an elite manager. We have another Dutch manager who hasn't got a clue. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, evidently, winning a league title in your first year is easy enough. Yeah, easy to do. Kev says, no player is bigger than the team they play for. Exactly. Couldn't agree more. Here we go, Roma down the right-hand side. It's going to be another corner. They're struggling here, Celtic. They can't get out the area. They're penned in. Kasper Schmeichel's just saying to his defence, we need to step up. Need to step up. Need to be a bit bolder. LJ says, imagine if Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher became good friends much earlier than their careers as pundits. It would have benefited England. I say this as someone who doesn't support the Reds or United. I mean, yeah, that was part of the problem, wasn't it, with England at the time? Soliver, where's Wirtz been? He's been to Milan, mate, with the rest of the squad this week. He was in Milan on Tuesday. I think they flew back on Wednesday, mate, yeah. Here's Roma down the left-hand side. Ball in. Celtic just about get it away. And it's going to run out, actually, for the goal kick. Tierney's struggling there. He didn't really have an out ball, in fairness to him. It's not Tierney's fault, that. He hasn't got anyone to pass to. No one came short. Everyone. There's not enough movement off the ball here from Celtic. It doesn't feel like they're moving. It doesn't feel like they're not showing for one another. That's always a big red flag to me. Especially under new managers as well. When new managers come in, the first thing you expect to see is every player buzzing around, like an extra 10% effort on the pitch, like really putting every single nerve and sinew, stretching it all to try and at least appear incredibly busy on the pitch. And I would have that when a new manager comes in, that's like when it's peak. That is when you see that at its best. You see players flying around and covering every blade of grass. Let me put my teeth back in. But it doesn't seem to be happening tonight with Celtic. It feels a bit lethargic, whole thing. Kev says, at least we're not out to Europe like Sevco, aka Rangers, and 3-Star Red says, I've aged 10 years tonight, Key. Yeah, late win, wasn't it, in Utrecht? Reese, Key versus Jonathan Morley, Misfits 2027. He got told. He got told. The guy basically wants Brighton to win this weekend because he hates Arne Slot. We've got another one of them in the chat now. Honestly, there is a cross-section of Liverpool fans. It's so true. There's a cross-section of Liverpool fans. Oh, Roma are in. Cross-section of Liverpool fans at the minute. It's not the majority. It's a very, very small, vocal minority, though, who actively want Liverpool to lose. Like, they're not supporting the team. They're not supporting the team. They want vindication for Salah, the player FC, and they massively want Liverpool to lose. Celtic are in down the far side. Good defending by Roma. Chalk Chart says, any news from Salah? Not as yet, no. It's looking like Mo Salah isn't going to play against Brighton at the weekend because he doesn't think that he's done anything wrong. And yet, everybody, unanimously, is saying he's done something wrong. All the fans are saying Mo Salah has done something wrong. The only ones who aren't are Player FC. They're not actually Liverpool supporters. They're Player FC. Lee says, I don't want Liverpool to lose. I would never want Liverpool to lose, but I want Slot out. Why do you want Slot out? Why do you want Slot out? Do you not see how that whole statement you've just given makes no sense? You don't want Liverpool to lose, but you are Slot out. What if Slot goes? What if Liverpool win? What if Liverpool win? Are you back Slot in again? Roma chance, miles wide, shocking. LFC Mike says, I would never want my team to lose just to get a manager out. It's unfortunately the case at the minute, Mike. Brendan says, I heard from a reliable source that Slot is jealous of Salah's hair transplant, and that's the real root of the problem. Kev says, you guys all know when the Italians are ahead, they just defend. Very tough to break them down. Absolutely, yeah. LJ says, what do you think of Craig from Anfield Agenda? I have no problem with him. I have no problem with anyone, mate. I really don't. I had a war of words with Jonathan Morley earlier today. He came into one of my lives and started talking nonsense about him. Basically the same thing that Lee's saying here in the chat, that he would quite like Liverpool to lose this weekend. He was a little bit gutted that Liverpool didn't win or didn't get beat against Inter. It's Player FC. It's Player FC again. There's some people who are more fans of Mo Salah than they are of Liverpool. And they just, yeah, it's sad. That's what frustrates me. And it's the same really with Anfield Agenda to a degree. Anfield Agenda has been Slot out. I can't believe some people are picking Slot over Salah and all this. And now it's funny, actually. It's funny because he did a video last night where he was reining it in a little bit because he's seen that Gerrard has actually started to say the same thing, and there's a bit of balance. He's now wheeled back on his opinion a little bit. See, I've no problem. If you've got an opinion, voice it, stay on it, stand on it, absolutely chest out, say it with your chest, go for it. But a lot of it is sadly just for clicks and views. Jordan, might as well go sleep, these lot of shits. 2-0, too easy, and Ketty has just scored. And Lee says, I've never liked him. His football is so slow and boring. His man management is pathetic. How do you know his man management is pathetic? Do you know, again, you've never been in a dressing room with him. How would you know that his man management is pathetic? What examples can you give me to suggest his man management is pathetic? That is a pathetic statement. Reese, if you think Ghana's football's boring, how do you feel about Arteta? I was going to say, Christ, if you want boring football, there's plenty worse than Arne Slot, I'll tell you that. Plenty worse. Lee, look at what Salah has said. Got to be something in it. What do you mean there's got to be something in it? Why has there got to be something in it? Why has there got to be something in it? It's so weird that. It's so weird people are like that. I can't understand it. There's got to be something in it. People make mistakes all the time. Like, maybe he's just got Slot wrong. And actually, I don't even think his gripe is with Slot. His gripe is with Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. He's thrown Slot and his teammates under the bus. It's not even to do with Slot. Nothing to do with Slot. Tom says, the one thing I don't like about Slot is his treatment of Chiesa. Again, I'll be honest, Tom. Oh, Roma are in here again. It should be 2 here. Oh, off the post. Evan Ferguson off the post. Yeah, Tom, I've got to be honest with you, mate. Everyone uses that stick to beat him with. Chiesa himself. Chiesa himself is saying, I am not ready to play football. Honestly, he keeps saying it and people aren't listening. I am not ready. I am not physically or mentally ready to start games of football. He has said it repeatedly in the last few months. He's rejected multiple call-ups from the Italy squad. Arne Slot is not going to pick him. For that reason. It's not a bullying campaign. He's got nothing against the player. People really need to just listen and remember Chiesa isn't fit and ready to play football. Kev said, what does opinions and pizza get in common? Well, I asked for the pizza. LJ says, Palace now 2-0 up. And Jordan says, Mateta, who? Lee says, why would he come out with complete lies? Well, I'm not saying the lies. Maybe he could be mistaken. It doesn't necessarily mean he's a liar. Just been mistaken, maybe. But even, maybe he is. Maybe he is lying. I don't know. I don't know Salah. I'm sure he isn't lying, but he might be. People do it all the time, don't they? People do it all the time. But I don't think it is lying. I just think he's mistaken. And he's made an error. But he doesn't think it's an error. Tom says, nah, I meant off the bench. Cameos like Leeds. Oh, I mean, to be fair, he does get minutes. He does get minutes off the bench. And he tends to do well when he comes off the bench. But I don't think Chiesa changes the game against Leeds. Chiesa doesn't help us defend that corner in the last minute, does he? Salah doesn't help us defend that corner in the last minute. Does make a difference. Lee said he said Slot hasn't even spoke to him. What kind of manager does that? But no. Lee, there you go. Okay. Lee, if I can prove you wrong right now, if I can prove you wrong that he didn't say that and you've misunderstood him, will you rein back on Arne Slot? Because I think this is why you're upset, mate. I think we've just got to the bottom of the problem here. We've just got to the bottom of the problem right there. What you've said, it's not true. It's not true. You said Slot hasn't even spoke to him. If I can show you that Mo Salah didn't say that, and you think he has, Mo Salah didn't say that. Mo Salah did not say that. Read the transcript of the interview. Mo Salah said him and Slot had a meeting the day before Leeds. The very day before, they had a meeting. They were fine. They were absolutely fine. He told Slot how he felt. Slot told him that he's dropped, he's not playing, he's on the bench against Leeds. Salah didn't like it. Salah's confirmed all this. Salah had confirmed it, and so did Slot. They had a meeting the day before against Leeds, and they had a meeting the morning after. LJ says, Nemanja Matic I respect, because when Leon played United, Matic said that Onana, as the goalkeeper with worse modern stats, should be careful what he says, as De Gea, Van der Sar and Schmeichel were better. It's very true. Joe says, hiya Key, great point for us last night. Shame about the last goal. Voltemada still impressive. Diving Voltemada though, eh? Diving. Tom says, I feel like Slot hasn't used Rio Engamoa. Well, I mean, he's used him a little bit, but he hasn't maybe used him enough, maybe. You could argue that, but I don't think that's enough to be like, well, let's sack Slot out because he hasn't played Rio Engamoa. Celtic, oh, chance! It's a claim for the handball. Oh, it's cleared away. Lee said Salah came out and said they had a relationship, but now they haven't got anything. You see, now you're winding back on what you said. He didn't say they haven't spoke, did he? He didn't say they haven't spoke. They have spoke. They have spoke. They have got a relationship. By definition. Brendan says Salah didn't, but Slot himself said he didn't talk to Salah before the Inter game. Just told him he wasn't travelling. Well, then that is talking to him, isn't it? That is talking to him. He has spoke to him, but he spoke to him at length the morning before the Leeds game. The day before Leeds, they had a private meeting, and he explained to him that he wasn't playing against Leeds, and Salah told Slot how he felt. That's Salah's words, not mine. Oh, Roma nearly 2-0. Sweet Lord. Joe says, all right, mate, you're open to your own opinion. It definitely was a dive, though, wasn't it? Come on. Joe, that was a dive. That was definitely a dive from him. I thought Miley was fantastic, though, when he came on. He was absolutely fantastic. Empty says, hoping for an Engels goal. And LJ says, Villa back up to 1-0, goal cancelled. Kev says, HH 420. Reece says sack Arne Slot because he hasn't played the 16-year-old Rio Engamoa. Well, yeah. Again, you can't please some people. And Tom says Isaac flop of the season. Well, again, it's not an Arne Slot signing, is it? That's not an Arne Slot signing. Jordan says, I don't care if these are shit since Eddie and Uche link-up is giving me tingles. Lee, I'm not team Salah in all this. He is in the wrong, but you have to look at Slots. Now, that's just whataboutery, Lee. That's just whataboutery. When someone does something wrong in life, you don't say, well, he was wrong, but... No. That's not what happens in life. That's not what happens. He was wrong. He needs to apologise. End of story. Once he's done that, he can move on. You can look at every other problem in the team. And be honest, there are bigger problems in the team. Mo Salah has made it all about him. I'm absolutely with you. There's bigger problems in the team. And Slot's made mistakes. No one's saying otherwise. No one's trying to pretend that Slot's perfect in all this. But Slot has done nothing wrong in the Mo Salah situation. He's done nothing wrong. He didn't deserve being attacked in the way that he did. And Salah absolutely disrespected him, his teammates, the fans. He made things infinitely harder. He would have been starting against Inter Milan. He would have been starting against Brighton. And he isn't. And that's a problem. And that's because of Mo Salah. So there you go. That's the last I'll say on the issue, because he's taking the piss and he needs to sort it out. Celtic, good defending at the back here. They're actually not too bad now. They've settled down a little bit, Celtic, defensively. But that time, now I say that, and now he gives it away. Oh, they're all over the place. Bale 1, Aston Villa 1. Villa crumbling. Adrian says, who signed Isaac? It was a transfer committee decision. It was by Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards. Slot doesn't really get a say in transfers at Liverpool. I mean, he gets a say, but it's like 1/5. He's on a panel of 5. Do you know what I mean? It's not a typical manager like Arteta, for example. Arteta says he wants Eze. They go and get Eze. It's not like that with Liverpool. LJ says, the 4-2-3-1 can change to a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-1-3. But I find the development from this formation to a 3-2-4-1 interesting. What do you guys think? General football question. Yeah, it has switched to a back three with a lot of teams, hasn't it? I think it's moving a little bit more back towards a front two. And I think that's what Arne Slot wants to do. I'm almost certain we end up playing 4-4-2 going forward. And a lot of teams will. You can see Palace start to play with 2 centre forwards and a box midfield at times as well. So I do think we'll start to see that a lot more, especially in build-up. Goal! Strasbourg 1-0 up against Aberdeen. And Porto now 2-0 up against Malmo. Shaqiri assist for the Bale goal. And Lee says Salad is done at Liverpool, I think, but we had a better manager than he could get the best out of him. Like I said, he's already got the best out of him. No manager has got more out of Mo Salah than Arne Slot. And to be fair, it's third, it's 2-0. It's 2-0 to Roma, and this time it is Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson he's absolutely smashed it here. I mean, to be fair, he should have scored about 5-10 minutes ago. He smashed one off the post. And Scales loses his man. 2-0 Roma. Game not necessarily done and dusted, but Celtic have got a mountain to climb here to get back into this one. Going to be a very, very tough game going forward here now. Tom says Isak and Ekatike cannot play together. Why? What makes you say that? What makes you say that? He's onside. There's nothing wrong there. That's going to be 2-0 Roma. 2-0 Roma. Shell says he's supposed to be coming to us. Well, I mean, you're going to have to try and... I don't know. If he keeps playing like this, I mean... It's a tap-in, really, but it's a good finish. He's got to get in the right place for it. Celik with the ball in. And it's a left-footed finish past Kasper Schmeichel. Too easy, that, really. Far, far too easy. Shelbourne 0, Palace 3. Beelzebub. How's it going, Beelzebub? Good man. Cheers for that. Sean says, great win, Ipswich. Class goal from Philogene. And Lee says, the first season you can actually judge Slot on. Look what's happening. What are you talking? Why can't you judge him on last season? Why can't you judge him on last season? Is it just that you don't want to judge him? Again, it's just people with an agenda. People with an agenda. I can't understand it. Kev says, brother, Wilton will be okay. He needs time. Palace on fire, says LJ. Adrian says, Wilfried Nancy out. Mark says, you know what I'm going to ask you, Key? Opinion on Salad and Slot. Mate, we've spoke about nothing else for the last 3-4 nights, to be honest. And I'll be honest, I'm sick of talking about it. Mo Salah's banging the wrong. Slot did nothing wrong. Salah needs to apologise or he won't play for Liverpool again. There you go. That's it. I'm not going to say much more on the subject. Celtic are in. Chance. Oh, he's got to score. Oh, he's got to score there. Hatate. Oh, he gets in the box there. He's got to score. Absolutely has to score. Lee, because he won with someone else's team, didn't do anything but this season he has had to. But hang on a minute. What? Do you not think that's a little bit flawed? Is that not flawed thinking? He every other manager, when they come into a team, every other manager, it's what's the excuse they all get? Well, he needs his own players. Well, you know, he needs a bit of time. He needs to put his own stamp on the team. He needs, you know, get him a few of his own players in. He's still working with someone else's squad. That's what Amorim got. That's what Ten Hag got. They all got patience on that basis. Slot didn't sign anyone. He didn't sign anyone. Every single player that he had and that he played regularly were all Klopp players. He played with someone else's team and got him to win the league at a canter. He pissed it by March. Now, whatever you think of the competition, he still did it. We only got knocked out of the Champions League on penalties by the eventual winner, and we got to the League Cup final. I'm telling you, if you're not giving Arne Slot credit for that, you're an absolute moron, Lee. You're a moron. I'll go as far as saying that. You're a moron. You're an absolute moron. I don't know what more the guy can do short of winning the quadruple. Will says, Hatate looks the most threatening for Celtic. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Celtic down that right-hand side, it feels like it's going to come from that side. But they're not getting it. They're not breaking the lines. That's the problem. Every time Tierney or Scales get it, they end up going back to Schmeichel, and Schmeichel ends up pumping it long, and that's where they're losing it. Look at that. They're going into the corners, and Roma have quite tall fullbacks. I mean, Celik at the right fullback there for Roma, he's a centre-back. He's a centre-back by trade. He's playing full-back tonight, or wing-back. He's already got one assist. But he's a centre-back by trade. So he's winning every aerial duel. And Schmeichel going long every time. That's all they keep doing. Celtic, back to Schmeichel. Schmeichel pumping it long to the wings. Celtic aren't going to win that way. They're trying to pick up the second balls. It's really, really difficult for them. Shell says, what game Tomorski? We are doing West Brom against Sheffield United on Friday. And Brendan says, Slot done well to steer the ship, but Salah was the biggest reason we won the league. I can't agree. I think it's a team game at the end of the day, and Salah doesn't win the league unless Van Dijk's incredible, and Van Dijk and Salah don't win the league unless Gravenberch's incredible, and none of them win the league unless Slot is making incredible decisions at different points throughout the season where tactically we were superior than loads of teams. That's why Gary Neville was doing full segments on the overlap about what an unbelievable manager Arne Slot was. I can't accept people saying he's stupid. I don't understand it. He's literally one of the best managers in Europe. It's ridiculous to say otherwise. Chimey says, inheriting Klopp's Liverpool and inheriting Ollie's United is the same thing to you, Key. No, but it's the same concept, isn't it? It's the same principle as to why the managers have got time. The manager's got time. You wanted Ollie to get time, right? You wanted Amorim to get time. You still want Amorim to get time. Why? Because he's not his team. That's the same argument you and others have been giving me, Chimey. Yeah, the problem is we've got all these players that Ten Hag brought in. It's not really fair to judge Amorim until he's got a few of his own players that can play in his system. You know what I mean? He needs a few of them. Let's give him at least a summer. Give him at least a summer or a couple of transfer windows. That's what I heard from United fans. But Arne Slot doesn't get the same grace. It's interesting, isn't it? It's interesting. Mick92, how's it going? Good to see you. Matt Pineapple says, hey buddy, not trying to be annoying, but your mic is distorted, mate. Might be worth adjusting. Cheers, man. Thank you. NC says, Prem Dad, can you remember me? I can, yeah. Daz says, do you start young Rio on Saturday? Not a chance. Not a chance. Beelzebub says, lucky Villa should be 2-1 down. Right, so, hang on a second. Hang on. Oh, no! Clear it away! Alright, I don't know what's going on. Brand nil, Fenerbahce 3. Kev says, never start Rio. He needs a first plane out to Glasgow. Brendan, I hope Salah lets Slot off the hook and allows him to stay at the club. I think Salah will be gone long before he is. Liam says, thoughts on the derby Sunday, Xhaka v Bruno. I think it's going to be Sunderland and Xhaka who get the result in that one. I'm backing at least a draw anyway for Sunderland. Steaua Bucharest 1, Feyenoord 2. Why is that so black? Why is it so funky? Don't really know what's going on here. I'm saying about Rio Atati. I think it's because it's too close, that's why. It's too close to me. Right, there you go. Let's see if that's any better now. Claim for the penalty, you're never getting that. Never ever getting that. Lee, that's a lot better. Yeah, I think it was just too close. It's a bit too close. Thanks for that. LJ says, empty, I wanted to ask he whether he wants Hearts to win the Scottish League, as the last 40 years Celtic and Rangers won the league. I haven't really got a preference. I like Celtic and I like Rangers. I grew up watching good Celtic sides and, you know, Henrik Larsson, absolutely fantastic. Went up to Parkhead, met John Hartson, unbelievable player. Went to Ibrox on the same day and got a tour around Ibrox. Met Claudio Caniggia, Peter Lovenkrands. Michael Moles, I think, was there as well. Some really, really good Rangers players, really good Celtic players, liked them both. Would it be good for Scottish football to have a different winner? I think so. It'd be good if Hearts won it. This Shy Boy, hey Key, great to see you, mate. Can't for the life of me get the audio working. We'll stick around in case it improves. The audio? Oh no, that's not good. Oh, it's Evan Ferguson again. It's 3-0. It's 3-0 here. Roma absolutely on fire. They're on fire here. Will says, was Neil Lennon a Celtic player in his football career? He was, yeah, for a long while. But Roma, I mean, this is maybe effectively over at half-time here now. Celtic, bad night at the office. Very bad night at the office. Ball out to the far side. Good finish. That's a really good finish from Evan Ferguson. I tell you what, you do need a player like that, Shell, at Everton. A player like that at Everton would be absolutely phenomenal. Look at that. First touch out of his feet. Great goal. Fabulous goal. Top finish, that. Right. So, as I understand it, I think game done and dusted, says Prince Rupert. Well, it's half-time. I don't think the ref's going to let much longer play here, but it's definitely a good Roma performance in this first half. Wilfried Nancy's got lots and lots to think about at half-time. I think he's going to have to make some changes, maybe. Kev says quality goal. It was, wasn't it? A really, really good finish, has to be said. As we approach half-time, if you're new and you're watching along, please do give us a like. Click subscribe as well. I'm live every single day watching games of footy. Is that a penalty? It's a penalty. Oh my God, Celtic penalty. Bang on half-time here. Oh, that looked very, very soft. That looked very, very soft here. Very soft. I don't know if that's going to get overturned, maybe. It looked very soft. Yeah, I don't think that's a pen. I'm sorry. I don't think that's a pen. No, he slides there. You don't give penalties. I'm sorry, that's never a penalty. That is never, ever, ever a penalty. He has to check that. He has to check that. That's so poor. You can't be giving a pen for that. I can't tell you how bad that is. I can't tell you how bad that is. That might be the softest penalty I think I have ever seen. And we've seen some soft ones. But that was a very, very soft penalty. He doesn't touch him. Doesn't touch him. The Celtic player slips. LJ says Celtic might pull one back here before half-time if the ref gives the penalty. Well, McGregor... Oh, it's a yellow card for El Shaarawy as well. 2 yellow cards for Roma here just for asking the ref to go and have a look at it. But crazy. Joe says if it was a Liverpool, it would have been a solid pen, don't lie. No, mate. The Wirtz one was a little bit soft last night, but there was at least pulling. There was at least connection. He literally did grab hold of his shirt and pull it back. I could understand why that was given. That's a ridiculous one, that. He's totally got this wrong. Bell says, oh my God, man, how can a team turn so bad in a short space of time? Roma or not, get this guy out. Right, penalty for Celtic. Here we go. Can they pull one back before half-time? This is a big, big moment in the game. If they can, second half looks promising, delicately poised. But they need a big game and they need a big goal here. Big performance. Can he do it? Oh, he's hit the post! Oh, no! No, what are you doing? Oh, Celtic. Celtic. Oh, no, they've had an absolute shocker there. Oh, I can't tell you how bad that is. Off the post, back out and wide. And there you go. I think that is half-time here at Parkhead. Jesus Christ. Missed it. Very poor, that. Yep. Anna Engels stepping up, missing a penalty. Celtic stay 3-0 down. Good grief. LJ says it looks like a banter, that penalty, or the ref gave a pen to make a joke. I don't know how he gives that. How does he give that penalty? It's never a pen. Never. Prince Rupert says, wow, they needed that goal so badly too. And Shay says, normally when I watch Celtic, they have a good atmosphere, but it's incredibly bad. It's quite flat, isn't it? It is quite flat. Prince Rupert, the ref tried to give Celtic a hand. Well, half-time, Celtic got a reprieve there, didn't they? They got a reprieve. They got an opportunity to make it 3-1. And that, honestly, they didn't really deserve it. If it's 3-0 at half-time, they can't really have any complaints. If it's 3-1, they're counting their lucky stars. The ref gives a really soft penalty, and somehow they end up missing it. They contrive to miss it. Very, very difficult. David Jarvie just popped in for half-time, and FK certificate are atrocious. Oh, Celtic. I was going to say certificate. Good to see it anyway, David. Shell says, have you had a good day, Key? I have, yeah. How's your day, Shell? Or was you talking specifically about how I'm feeling? I think that I'm getting the sense that you was asking about that. In that case, yes, I'm fine. I am honestly fine. I'm okay, thank you. This shy boy says, of course, I get my audio sorted in time for the break. And Bell says, could be worse. We could be the Huns. This shy boy says, have we played the letter game since T? No, I don't think we have, actually. I don't think we have. I think we're due the letter game. Joe says, do you watch darts? And Beelzebub, what we saying, sorry? Do you watch darts? Alex is watching the darts, love it. I'm not really a lover of darts, no. Prince Rupert says, the Huns, Germany, not Rangers. Rangers it is. And Shell says both, actually. I thought as much. Well, in both cases, yes, absolutely fine, thank you. I hope yours was good too, and you're feeling good as well. Tone says, Celtic board have destroyed this team. I mean, I just feel like Scottish football is on its knees. The Huns are all Germans. Well, listen, Rangers got beat by Roma early in the season, so if nothing else, they can't really have a pop at Celtic tonight. They got battered by Roma early in the season. Joe says, I think we win on Sunday if I was mentally deluded. It's going to be a good game, that, innit? Joe says, do you watch any other sports? Not really, mate, no. Not really. I don't mind a bit of rugby league occasionally, but no, not really. Shay says, is Evan Ferguson on loan or have Brighton sold him? He's just on loan. Yeah, he's just on loan at Roma. There was talk that maybe Everton would come and take him. 92 FC, I'm going for a draw for Sunday for the derby, the Tyne-Weir derby. It's going to be an interesting game. I can't really call it, but I can't see Newcastle winning. I'll put it that way. LJ, football organisers might have problems, but rugby administration, admin organisers are appalling. I say this as someone who watches rugby more than football. Okay. And Adrian, do you think Celtic and Rangers survive in the Premier League, Key? No, I don't. It's been long since spoken about, hasn't it, what would happen if Rangers and Celtic came to the Premier League. I think the only way that you could do it is if you rolled in the entire Scottish Premiership, maybe the whole Scottish Football League, roll all of that into the English League and make one British Football League. I don't know. You know, that's the only way I could see it working, and then you'd have to include the Welsh leagues in that as well, and I know Swansea and Cardiff are in, but you know, you'd maybe have to include Barry Town and Llanelli as well. Carnarvon, Pontypridd, Pennybont, all them. Kev says, the Krauts are worse than us. And Shay says these Celtic and Rangers teams would probably be in League One or lower and Championship probably. I don't think that. I think Celtic and Rangers are still decent sides. I just don't think they're Premier League. I think they'd probably be lower. They'd be lower bottom half Premier League, or they would be kind of mid to top Championship. I think they'd be floating around the playoffs in the Championship. If you put them in the Championship, I think that's where they would be. If you put them in the Premier League, I think they'd both be relegated within I'll actually, do you know what? No. Let me take that back. If you put Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League and gave them like a reprieve from relegation for a couple of years, like, you know, we're pulling you in, it's going to be difficult, so we'll give it maybe a 1 year stay of execution. I think with the money and the TV revenue and all that stuff from Celtic and Rangers are massive clubs, by the way. They're absolutely huge. If you put Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League and start them in the Prem and start giving them Premier League money, I mean, there's a good chance that within 3 to 5 years they'd probably be in the top 6. They're that big. They are that big. Well, I mean, to be fair, Rangers got to a Europa League final. Television deals, the players in England are getting paid more in wages yearly. And Chelsea's pronounced Pontypridd. Did I say Pontypridd? Sorry, Pontypridd. I think they'd probably be fine in the end. G. Lawrence says, Key, thoughts on Arsenal v Wolves this Saturday? 9-0. 9-0 to Arsenal. Beelzebub says Celtic and Rangers would have more revenue and would easily survive in the Prem. Yeah, I think we're on the same lines there. Literally, these Celtic and Rangers lot are absolutely horrendous. They don't survive in the Championship. Well, I disagree. I think they do okay, but it depends on where you put them in the English league. But Evan Ferguson causing all sorts of problems for Roma tonight. But a lot of the problems are down to Celtic's own creation. If you look at the actual chances that Roma have had, a lot of it is from Celtic giving the ball away really cheaply. That's got to be like points 1, 2, 3 and 4 in the dressing room now from Wilfried Nancy. He's got to be saying to these guys, listen, you're not going to do anything in football unless you can keep the ball. That would be, if you were going into a club that was struggling, you're a new manager going in, the two things you would prioritise is, one, we all need to work really hard for each other, so I want to see an extra 5-10% effort from everyone, and if I don't, you won't be playing next week. So just for this little next couple of weeks, I want absolute on 110%, nothing more. And then next thing is I want us to keep the ball. You'd be amazed our little 10-15 minute spell where the opposition can't get the ball off you. You'd be amazed how much confidence it brings and how frustrated it makes the opposition. Simple stuff, football. It really is. Football, who said it? It was Bill Shankly, wasn't it? Bill Shankly said it. Football is a simple game complicated by idiots. And it is. Them principles are the same today as they were then. Keep the ball, pass and move, work harder, win your individual duels. You don't need to complicate it. None of this half-space nonsense and Trek artistas and enganche rolls and all that shite. Pressing lanes. I've never heard such crap. LJ says Mark Goldbridge and Burnley banter was really funny. It's always bloody Burnley. And Joe, it's so good we might be getting a new winner in the SPL after so long. And Alex says he looks like a good player, Evan Ferguson. He's been alright, hasn't he? Yeah, he's done quite well tonight. Kev says, right on tone, I recall the 3-3 with City. 3-3 with City. When was that? What year was that? See, I remember Celtic Porto in the, I think it was 2003. Was it 2003 UEFA Cup final, Celtic Porto? Might have been a bit earlier. But it was a very good Porto side. It was the Porto side that went on and won, largely the same Porto side that went on and won the Champions League a few years later. But yeah, I remember Celtic Porto vividly. I remember Rangers against Zenit St. Petersburg at City as well. 3-star Red says, just cashed my Aka for 33, need one more goal in the Villa game for 42, not taking the risk for the sake of £7. That's £9, mate. That's £9. But I agree with what Shell said there. It's better in your pocket. LJ says, to be honest, I love Goldbridge. He is funny sometimes and he isn't a toxic person in my opinion. I agree. I like Gasperini because I think already you're probably looking ahead to this weekend's game against Como. They play Como in 4 days' time. So, and then they've got Juventus away after that. It's a tough week or so of football for Roma. Como at home, Juventus away. And, they're 4 points off the top of Serie A. So, couple of decent results all of a sudden changes everything for Roma. Prince Rupert says Goldbridge has admitted he's toxic, or at least used to be. Maybe he's improved. I haven't watched him in years. He's just decided to, I think, rein it in a little bit. I think he has just decided to rein it in. 3-star Reds, it's the nerves key after that game tonight. They are right, hang on a second. Thank God this has happened at half time. Right, hang on a second. Let me see if I can fix it. It's almost always an encoder network ingest issue. Check OBS. Look at dropped frames. Right, where we go. Dropped frames. Say 0.0%. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Sorry, I'm troubleshooting at half time here, so I apologise. The game will be back on in a minute. Hopefully I can figure it out. Right, so the stream is happening after the stream hits YouTube. Either YouTube player latency mode, browser side playback issues, most likely cause YouTube low latency. Right, in YouTube Studio, stream settings, latency to normal. Right, let's see. Can I go and change the latency? I don't know if I can. Can I change the latency? It's already on. Right, hang on a second. Normal service will be resumed as possible. Shell says seems okay now. And it says warning. Oh my God, why is it saying warning? What's going on here? Oh, for God's sake. I've gone down. I think I've gone down. Have I gone down? For God's sake. This. I hate it. I hate it when it does this. There's a few changes happening here for Celtic anyway, if anyone's still with me. Right, OBS is sending a clean video. Bitrate's hovering. YouTube wants consistent bitrate. Right, hang on. It's fixed itself. That's because... Lower your bitrate. How am I going to do that? Jesus Christ, sorry. Brendan, you're still there. It's better now. I don't really know why. I don't know why it's happened. I wish I could figure out why it's happened. Apologies. I apologise. But... Shell says, bloody hell, it's raining on the Celtic game. Well, we've got 3 or 4 changes here, I think. Is it 3 or... Might only be 2, actually. But it looked like quite a few warming up on the side for Celtic. Paolo Bernardo's come on for Dyson Maeda. That's an odd change. You need a goal and you're taking off Maeda. That's odd. Iheanacho's coming on. That's a very odd change. I'm really not sure about that. Kev says, sick. Oh, Kasper's a German. Schmeichel, he needs to go. Well, here you go. We made a few changes, Celtic, but the game is back off and underway for the second half. Celtic, can they get back into this? Be a hell of a game if they do. It's 3 changes, sorry. It's Donovan for Tierney. Colby Donovan coming in, 19 years of age. I'll tell you what. Is that him throwing Tierney under the bus a little bit, or is that a fitness issue? Him taking 3 key players off, let's be honest. Tierney's gone off, Nygren's gone off, and Maeda's gone off. For Donovan, Iheanacho and Bernardo. That, to me, is saying that he's throwing the game. Am I right in saying that, Celtic fans? Is that accurate? Is that fair to say? He's taken his maybe 3 of his best players off. Pup says, thinking about the Scottish League winners with next season being put in the Champions League playoff spot, so guaranteed to get in the Europa League group phase. So Hearts will be playing 10 European games. Absolutely loads of coin for Hearts. Kyle says, Roma were evens to win. Easiest money ever, that. he could get more than that. Oh, hey, oh, another claim for a Celtic penalty. Iheanacho. I'll tell you what, Iheanacho straight in and stuck in. And look at that. Celtic fans responding. Iheanacho straight onto the pitch and stuck in. Celtic, this is better. Good defending. And already there's a response from the home crowd. There's a response. Kev says he's saving Kieran Tierney for the Sunday Cup final. All right, okay. DC just need Villa to win at the minute. I've got Villa draw, no bet, so I'm quite happy with it being a draw. I'm not, as long as they don't lose. Brendan says, did you just say he's throwing Tierney under the bus? Interesting. Well, it is if he's taking him off. If he's taking him off mid-game when they're 3-0 down, I would say so, maybe a little bit. That's why I asked the question. Is he throwing him under the bus by taking him off mid-game, 3-0 down, or is he saving him? Is he saving him? I don't know. Because I didn't think Tierney had such a good game there, to be honest. But it's not just Tierney. I think it's the fact that he's not just took Tierney off. If it had just took Tierney off, I'd say less. Because that would mean maybe a tactical change. But he's took Tierney off, he's took Maeda off, and he's took Nygren off. Probably 3 of Celtic's best players. If not Celtic's 3 best players. So it's just a bit, I don't know, it's a bit confusing, isn't it? User 688, alright Key, how's it going, man? Here we go, Sula. Plays it short. Far post, I think that's curled out of play, hasn't it? Yeah. Shell, wow, it looks really bad. Brendan, no, managers don't throw players under the bus, surely never. Oh no, some managers do, absolutely. Some managers throw players under the bus. Yeah, absolutely. Some players throw managers under the bus as well. It happens all the time. People throw others under the bus all the time. But I think you're clinging to hope there if you're trying to relate that to a certain something. DC says, great live earlier, man. Glad you put Jonathan in his place. Hey, he was bang wrong, wasn't he? He was bang wrong. You can't be saying we're looking forward to... he basically wants Liverpool to get beat against Brighton. Sam, hey Key, how's it going, man? Good to see you. How are you feeling about Arsenal this weekend, Saturday, 8 p.m? How are you feeling about it? Arsenal away. Surely it can't get worse. It can. And UFC Lewis, we're going to beat Sunderland on Sunday, 3-0 again. I'll be live for it, we'll see. Kev says, yeah, we got the Sunday Cup final to worry about, Key. That's the reason, as we're not winning this game. I mean, you could still get something. Bale 1, Villa 2, Villa back in front. Here's Roma getting into the area. Edge of the box, might be a shot here. No. Tielemans with the goal for Villa. Here's Roma. Stood up. Oh, unlucky. 5-0, mate. 3-star Reds. Hogmanay in a few weeks. 166. 2026 might be better for Celtic. Can't be much worse. Roma turn it round, and Lisha says I'd love Liverpool to lose this weekend too, Jonathan. Oh, unlucky. Roma very nearly 4-0 there. It's going off here. Reece says Arsenal 23, Wolves 0. And DC says, yeah, the Salah had nothing to apologise for, just threw me. But it's so mad because he reeled back on it, didn't he? He was like, yeah, well, what about Slot? What about this? Yeah, he was wrong, but what about that? And then he went, yeah, but Salah's got nothing to apologise for. Well, which is it? Jordan says, SA goal and tonight is perfect. Freiburg 1, Salzburg 0. And NUFC Lewis says we were very unlucky not to win last night against Leverkusen. I mean, you could say you were quite lucky though, mate. You were a little bit lucky to get the point in the end. I mean, I know you hit the post twice, and it was actually a very good performance from Newcastle second half. But Voltemade, that's a dive. That is a dive. I mean, I like him a lot. But that is a dive from Voltemade. Like, unequivocally, that is a dive. You got away with one there. And then, yeah, you get back into it. You probably do deserve... You deserved a point. I think you deserved a point. But on a different night, you could have been a man down and 1 down or 2 down in the first half, couldn't you? I think Chow should have been sent off in the first half. And if he shouldn't have been sent off, it should have been a penalty. NUFC Lewis hit the post twice. First half was awful. That's what I mean. I think you don't even... If Leverkusen take their chances and the referee does his job, Newcastle don't get a chance in that second half. They don't get a sniff. Kev says, I'll say it now, Arsenal to win the European Cup. They are on fire. Soz, I'm old school saying European Cup. I call it the European Cup as well, but I think that's come from my dad. 3-star Reds, I know I should have held out for my £7 key, not that I'm an Ebenezer. It's not £7, it was £9. You said it was for 42 and you cashed for 33. RR73, I've got a question, Key. Do you gamble, mate? I know you're probably going to say no, if not yes. I don't talk about it, mate, for that reason. I don't talk about it for that reason. Roma, very nearly 4. Oh, should have been. Really should have been. Celtic now on the counter-attack. Good ball in. Iheanacho, I think he's offside, but he's... Oh, put it wide as well. I think he was offside there anyway, Kelechi. RR73, wow, is it 3-0 to Roma? It is, yep, 3-0 Roma. Celtic, not a good night for him. Another sitter miss, says Kev. Pub says Sunday's Cup final is also going to be interesting with this new manager. Also, Mun the Buddies. Well, I mean, has any Celtic manager ever lost their first 3 games in charge? Imagine that. Imagine a world where he loses his first 3 games in charge. Hearts, Roma, and then a cup final as well. Good grief. RR73 says Roma aren't a bad side at the moment. They're not doing too badly in Serie A this year. Well, they're 4 points off the lead in Serie A. So, yeah, there's every chance, isn't there, that they could maybe close it down. They've got a big game against Como coming up. Then they play Juventus away after that. So that's probably going to sort the men from the boys. Kev says another sitter missed by Celtic. And Che says, didn't Ange lose his first 5 at Celtic? Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I didn't know. I know Ange didn't have the best of starts, but I didn't think he'd have lost his first 3. Or lost his first 5. Kev says, not first 3, not that I can recall. It's been a while. RR73 says, Comp aren't Muppets either. Seen them picking a few half decent. Or Como aren't Muppets either. Yeah, Fabregas is very, very well thought of as well, isn't he? Apparently Fabregas is one of the managers Liverpool are looking at if Arne Slot, it doesn't quite work out with him. LJ says, do you think the Scottish League Cup winner should earn a place in the Conference League? The Scottish Cup winner earns one in the Europa League. Yeah, I do. I think that's fair. Celta Vigo 1, Bologna 1. And then UFC Lewis says, I'm not an Eddie out, but by playing Barnes and Gordon on either wing was very wrong and Burn is too slow. Yeah, I think he probably got that wrong last night. I think bringing Lewis Miley on was inspired though. I thought Miley was brilliant when he came on. Really good goal as well. Did well last night, Newcastle, in the second half. So, even if you don't think he got the starting lineup right, I think you've got to give him credit for the change that he made. Definitely got it right in the second half. Will says, isn't it Nico Paz, the star player for Como? Yeah, and he'll be a Real Madrid player next year. Very, very good player, Nico Paz. Here's Celtic driving forward here. Oh, you've got to hit that. Oh, so poor. That is really poor. Pup says Ange's first game was draw, loss, win, loss. Okay, so there you go. He definitely did all right. Kev says Scotland don't have the cash injection. It's a poor league without Celtic. And 3-star Reds, Ange did not win that any at Forest Shea. In fact, he was lucky to get 8 games. Celtic getting a little bit desperate now. They're just pinging him from distance. And it's looking very much like Roma will do the Glasgow double. They did Roma earlier this year. Here we go. Here's El Shaarawy. What a ball that is. Oh, unlucky. Good play at the back. Better from El Shaarawy. LJ says St Mirren are huge underdogs for the League Cup final. By the way, will you be having a live watch-along and commentary? I won't, mate. No, I'm doing Sunderland Newcastle that day on Sunday. So, no, I'm going to be doing that one instead. But I'll certainly be keeping an eye on it. I tend to bounce between... I've done 40 different leagues and cups this year. So, variety is very much the order of the day on this channel. That's what we do. We tend to cover a lot of different channels. A lot of different competitions, a lot of different leagues. Especially in the international breaks, we do all sorts. So, last year I did the Scottish relegation playoff between Ross County and Livingston. That was one of the best games I've ever done on this channel. It was brilliant. And then we've done, qualifiers in the Europa League when Hibs were playing some Lithuanian side, I think. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, we've done a fair few. Chimey says, Key, can you make your all-time favourites from Celtic and Roma? Or can I name some? Name some all-time favourites from Celtic and Roma. Yeah, go on, let's do it. In fact, I'll get me trusty pen and pad out. Let's do our all-time favourite. I might do a combined 11. Oh no, do you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do an all-time 11 for Celtic, and then an all-time 11 for Roma, and then we'll try and do a combined 11. All-time 11 for Celtic. Well, do you know, I can only do my lifetime. I'm only gonna do my lifetime. Let's see. My lifetime Celtic goalkeepers. I was gonna say Joe Hart then because he's on commentary. No, I'm trying to think back. Who's the goalkeeper they had? Blonde-haired fella, wasn't it? I'm struggling. I'm gonna skip the goalie for now. I'll skip the goalie because I'm struggling on the goalie. I'd have Stubbs. I think Stubbs was good. And he played very well when I can't imagine my pen not even working. My pen's not even working. NFC Lewis says, as much as I hate to say it, Craig Gordon. I mean, Larsson has to go in there. We can put Larsson in, yeah. Just in Larsson in the chat. Henrik Larsson, 1,000,000% up front. I would have John Hartson as well. Donnelly was a good player, but I don't know if I'd put him in there. I wouldn't have Scott Brown. Artur Boruk, Stan the Man. Stilian Petrov probably goes in, yeah. I think Petrov goes in. Celtic all time. Yeah, Boruk's probably up there. I don't know why I'm putting Stubbsy. Would Stubbsy go centre back or would he put him at left back? Because I'm trying to work in Virgil van Dijk in there for obvious reasons. Do you know who else was quite good, who I liked? Bobo Balde. Balde was a really good defender. I liked Balde. I know it's not necessarily... I'm sure some Celtic fans will be like, there's no way you can't be putting him in. But I would go... I'm going to go Balde and Van Dijk. That's my back. That's my two centre-backs. Sorry, what we saying? Dixie Deans. Rab Douglas. It was Rab Douglas. But I do not... Yeah, go on. I'll put Rab Douglas in. Rab Douglas is going in. User 688. The poor man Stephen Gerrard, you mean, Key? And Reece says, who was like the 14-year-old that played for Celtic ages ago and was meant to be a sensation? Are you on about Karamoko Dembele? I think he ended up at QPR, didn't he? Or he went from QPR to Celtic. And he bounced around a little bit. He might even be at Fulham now, you know. Celtic, chance here. Oh, yeah, unlucky. Cleared away. Mad Pup says, Balde had the same turning circle as a JCB. You can't have Roy Keane. Nah, Roy Keane was a wonderful player, but not at his best at Celtic. Balde, Van Dijk. I think Stubbs has got to go in there. I'm trying to think of full-backs. Right. Hang on a second. Tommy Boyd. Was Tommy Boyd a full-back? Jackie McNamara as well was brilliant. Paul Lambert. Reggie Blinker. Oh, Mark Viduka. What a player Mark Viduka was. Di Canio as well. Yeah, do you know what? I might have to drop Hartson out. Because I think Viduka was better. No. Yeah. I'm going to put Viduka and I'm going to put Di Canio in on the right or on the left. Either way, he's coming in out from wide. On the left. He was off the left, wasn't he? Rab Douglas in goal. Stubbs, Balde, Van Dijk. Yeah, I'm thinking Boyd. I'm thinking Boyd's going to go in. So I'm going to go Tommy Boyd, Alan Stubbs, Balde and Van Dijk at the back. Rab Douglas in goal. Petrov. Oh, I'm really torn again. I really liked... I don't think Lambert. I can't put Paul Lambert in. He was a good player at Dortmund, though. Yeah, we'll swerve that. Stanislav Varga. Jesus Christ, he's ex Ian Wright, Henrik Larsson. Yeah, listen, all good players, but I can't be saying that they're well, certainly not Henrik Wright. Sorry, not Ian Wright. Anyway, I'm looking at like Celtic 2003, 2004. I'm looking specifically for midfielders. Neil Lennon was a good midfielder, you know. I think I'd probably put Lennon in there, you know. Petrov, Lennon. He didn't take any shit, Lennon. So Petrov, Lennon, and give me another midfielder. Who would I put in? Probably would be inclined to put Lambert in. Give me some names in the chat. Give me some names. Paul McStay. Alan Thompson. You're right. It's got to be Alan Thompson. I thought he was fantastic. He scored a good goal against Liverpool as well. Ex-Bolton as well, isn't he, Alan Thompson? Yeah, Alan Thompson was a good player. There you go. Celtic in. Must be. Iheanacho 3-1. 3-1. Is it onside? It is. It's going to stand. Iheanacho scores. Could be too late. Who knows? There's still time here. Still time. Oh, wait. I've somehow made it 6-0 to Celtic. Right. Yeah. So, there you go. So, I'm going to go Petrov, Lennon, Thompson, Di Canio, Viduka, Larsson, Rab Douglas in goal, Stubbs, Balde, Van Dijk and Boyd at the back. Right, I know I've done that a little bit higgledy-piggledy. Roma should be a little bit easier because we've got some absolute non-negotiables, I think, for the Roma team. Obviously Totti has to go in, but there's lots and lots of other good players who went in, I think. So I would be putting in what was the goalie's name? Not Toldo, the other one. Antonioli. He was there. He was in there when they won the league, I think. I think he was the Italian goalkeeper. Oh, VAR! It's going to be ruled out. Oh, he's been ruled out. Iheanacho offside. And they're screaming. He's saying, come on, let's get back at it. Let's fight for something. Ben says no Ryan Christie is ludicrous. Kev says no idea about Roman plays. I'm going to go Antonioli in goal. I think then once you get past that, I think it's quite easy, to be fair. Cafu has to go in at right back. I'm trying to think specifically of the Roma side that played Liverpool 2000, 2001. We beat them at the Stadio Olimpico. I think Aldair was he was World Cup winning defender, I'm sure. Aldair was a great centre-back. Walter Samuel was very good. Played for Real Madrid, of course. Played for Inter. Good career. Best years at Roma, though. Yeah, Walter Samuel probably stands out. Do you know what? I think you could just go that full back line, to be honest. You could. Vincent Candelar. Do you remember Candelar? Won the World Cup with France. Played for Bolton. Vincent Candelar was brilliant. And then in midfield, I think, yeah, De Rossi's an absolute certainty. I'm trying to work Batistuta in there if I can. What was his name with the big hair? It's like an afro, but it wasn't an afro. Tomasi. Damiano Tomasi. Do you remember him? Vincenzo Montella. Brendan was Cafu at Roma. He was at Roma, yeah. He was at Roma for a long, long time. Jordan says, I am the first to hype up Glasner. I adore him, but why the hell is Gay, Richards and Leclerc all still on? And about 4 subs been made. Penalty to Strasbourg against Aberdeen. Ben says, remember that ref in the home game? Yeah. Strike. Easy for the keeper. Will says, where's Rui Patricio now? I remember him being the keeper for Roma for ages. Chris Smalling. Does Mo Salah get in? Alisson played for Roma. I mean, Alisson did. Yeah, I mean, it might have to be Alisson, actually. Do you know what it is? I'm taking Antonioli out. I was thinking more of the success while at Roma. And Alisson didn't have a great amount, but he is and he was I firmly believe Alisson Becker was the best goalie in the world when we signed him. He was incredible from minute one. So, yeah, I think Alisson probably does have to go in. It's basically a very South American feel already. Alisson, Cafu, Aldair, Walter Samuel, Vincent Candelar on the left, De Rossi in midfield. Damiano Tomasi was good. Del Vecchio was good as well, although he wasn't a midfielder. Del Vecchio, Montelar. Yeah, Del Vecchio, there you go. Adrian Birdie, you spotted it. There was lots and lots of good players. Emerson. Hey, Emerson. I'm putting Emerson in there. De Rossi, Emerson. He was brilliant. He was another World Cup winner. I want to get Batistuta in there. I feel like I've got to get Totti. I've got to try and get a front three. So I'm going to play 4-3-3. I'm going to have Totti, Batistuta, Salah. There you go. There's my front three. I just need a midfielder now. And I might go Hidetoshi Nakata because he was brilliant as well. He was very, very good for Roma. Although actually he was only there for a while. It was Parma, wasn't he, where he played well? Yeah, I'm not going Nakata. I'm trying to think of better. Who was better midfielders Roma have had? Give me some Roma midfielders. Who am I missing? This is under the Capello era, isn't it? This is absolute prime Roma under Fabio Capello. Although they started to fall away, didn't they? In the mid-2000s. Do you know what? I'm going to go Tomasi. There you go. De Rossi, Tomasi, and Emerson. Totti, Batistuta, Salah. There you go. And honestly, I don't think, if I'm looking at that, there's only really... I think there's only Van Dijk and Larsson. I'd put Larsson in. I'd drop Totti back into midfield and I'd put Larsson in alongside Batistuta. There you go. So there's only really 2 or 3 Celtic players getting in for me. Nangolan, Radja Nangolan, or does he not go in? No, Radja Nangolan, I remember him playing against us in the semi-final a few years ago. I was at that game and he was awful. He was absolutely dreadful. The best bit about Radja Nangolan was the hairdo. The hairdo was incredible, but the rest of him was pretty crap, to be honest. Emerson, says Andy, yeah. Asun Sao was a good player. Diego Fusa. Take me back to Gazzetta Football Italia. Yeah, with James Richardson. Dan. I love that. How good was your mornings when that was happening? Celta Vigo 1, Bologna 2. Oh, that's going to kill my... I'm not even going to say the word, but that's going to kill me, that one. I needed Celta Vigo or draw the Edin Dzeko. Oh. But I like him a lot. I like Edin Dzeko, I really do. But he's not better than Batistuta. He's just not. He's not. He's absolutely not. Brendan, remember Didier Agat? Yeah. Didier Agat was a good player too. He could get up and down the fullback, up and down the wings, couldn't he? Yeah, good player. Adrian says James Richardson was brilliant. God, I missed that programme. Golazzo. Yeah, wonderful. Maicon at Roma. What was his name? Who was like captain step over for a while and everyone was buzzing off him? Mancini. Do you remember him? I remember Liverpool being linked with him. Mancini. He just seemed like all he did was step overs. Kev says there goes another football coupon. Yeah. 365's having a lovely day on me. Will says, where are Celje from? A team in the Conference League currently. Celje are from Slovenia, I believe. They're with Albert Riera as the manager. Do you remember Albert Riera used to play for Liverpool in City? Yeah, Albert Riera is the manager of Celje. Akhtar, Liverpool, Salah, 11. Oi, oi, oi. Well, listen, Celtic now just kind of winding the game down. It's looking like 20 minutes to go. Milos Svilar knocking it long. He's grown into his role a little bit. He was once considered like the hot young goalkeeper. Hot property, I was going to say there. Not the hot young goalkeeper. That sounds a bit more risque, doesn't it? The hot young goalkeeper. No, he was considered to be really, really, top young goalie. I remember him having a bit of a nightmare at Benfica. But he seems to have settled down a little bit more at Roma. Andy says, just don't put Salah on the bench. Yeah, for God's sake, he'll freak out. Brendan says, did Macedo go to Roma? Macedo? Are you on about Federico Macedo? Chimey, how is Dodo not on that Roma X1? Extinct. Dead as a dodo. User 688, Key, are you on of a day? Sometimes, mate. Yeah. I was on earlier today. I had a blazing growl with Jonathan Morley earlier today. Yeah, so I am. Sometimes I go on at like 12 o'clock. I go on a lunchtime, just to generally talk, chit chat, and maybe invite a few people on. And then on a night, I do the live watch-alongs and stuff. Peter Nee says, score prediction for Sunday, Toon versus the Unwashed. I'll be honest, Peter, if it's the first half Newcastle that turned up last night, I'm not convinced you do very well at all. I actually think you might struggle. Chance for Roma. Oh, El Shaarawy. Oh, what a goal that is. It's 4-0. It's Leon Bailey. It's absolutely brilliant. It's 4-0 to Roma. They've absolutely wiped the floor with Celtic tonight, and that is a fabulous goal at the end. It's an absolutely brilliant goal. Peter Nee says, does Joe Linton get replaced by Miley? I think so. Yeah, I think he has to. Miley was fantastic when he came on. Great goal. Reminded me of Paul Scholes a little bit, ghosting in. It's a disaster. Absolute disaster. Quality goal, isn't it, though, from Roma? Played really well there. Adrian says, Hidetoshi Nakata, formerly of Bolton, of course. This might be offside. Celtic might be getting a reprieve here. It might be offside. I mean, whether or not it's considered a different phase of play, I don't know. But El Shaarawy knocks it back to Bailey, and then he just puts it in the top corner. Great goal, that. Great goal. So, yeah, I think score prediction, honestly, Peter, I think if it's the Newcastle that turned up first half, Sunderland will wipe the floor with you. If it's the Newcastle that turned up second half, you've got every chance of getting a win. So I'm going to sit on the fence and say draw. I think it'll be a good game. Anyway, whatever happens, it'll be a good game. I'll be watching it. I'll be live for it on Sunday. This one is being checked. It is going to go to VAR, I think, and it might well be ruled out for offside. I think it is going to be ruled out for offside. Still a bit of a check going on. Kev says Sunderland are no mugs. Referee still waiting here. Clarky, did you not put in Alexander Kolarov, Key? No, I didn't. I put in Vincent Candelar. Vincent Candelar for me was a much better left back. Fabulous left back. Kev says, is that classified as a local derby? Well, I mean, Newcastle fans say no. But yeah, I would say so. I would say it's a local derby. What's it off? I don't think he is. Yeah, VAR. It's offside. It's going to be chalked off. No goal. Celtic maybe live to fight for a little bit longer in this game. And user 688 says, what went on there? Basically, he came in and he flew in with his size 12s, right? He flew in with his big size 12 feet and started kicking off saying, you don't know what you're talking about. You're talking out your backside. I can't believe you're slotting. I can't believe your team slot. And I just gave him a bit of a talking to. I said, listen, mate, I'm not team slots. I'm a Liverpool fan. I'm not bothered about team slot or team Salah, and you are. And that's really sad in all this, that you're picking sides. At the end of the day, you can say Salah is a wonderful player and still say he's bang wrong here. Just call it out. You'd be amazed how quickly it could get sorted if he just gets called out. He needs to apologise, and then that's it. It'd be done. It'd be forgiven in a minute. Everyone wants him, including Slot. Everyone wants him back in the team. Brendan says, thoughts on European games? Oh, I thought European games had automated offsides. Why does it take so long? I don't know. I think it's just... Maybe it's for tension. They're trying to add to the atmosphere. I don't know. Kev says, fight for dignity as Deacon Blue sung about. User 688, do you think he's done at Liverpool now? If he doesn't apologise, then yes. If he doesn't apologise, he won't play again. And that is very, very sad. It's a really, really sad way for his career to end, but it is the right thing. It's absolutely the right thing. If he doesn't apologise, and for me, he has to go, and that's the standards we've set at the end of the day. It's the right thing. It's very, very sad, though. I hope he doesn't. I hope he comes to his senses and he realises that he was wrong to do what he did. And he apologises sincerely, not just like a hollow apology to try and get back on an even keel. I think he should apologise seriously. I actually think what he was trying to do was get the manager sacked. That's why I think it was a bit nasty. It's quite nasty and quite arrogant with what he did. Tried to get the manager sacked. He did it after a big disappointing result, and he thought, I can get him sacked here. I can put a bit of pressure on. And actually, the club went, well, no, you don't decide who sacks who, and that's not your job, mate, so get back in your box. You've had 2 games on the bench. So, I think he was trying to get the manager sacked. Will says, is there a touch of greed in what Salah said? I don't necessarily think it's greed. I don't think it is greed. I think he's just... I guess so. I guess if selfishness and greed are kind of cut from the same cloth, aren't they? So I guess so. He was a little bit selfish. It was a little bit arrogant. For me, it was just disrespectful. For me, I just think he was disrespecting the players that were playing, and he was disrespecting the manager, because the manager's just trying to pick a team to win a game of football at the end of the day. He doesn't have to agree with it. I expect that he wouldn't. I would hope that he doesn't agree with it. He shouldn't agree. He should be frustrated. Be frustrated. Be frustrated all you want. Just don't go to the press and kick off about it. You can't do that. Roma. Oh yeah, unlucky. Cleared away. Last 10 minutes here. Parkhead is borderline emptied now. It's going to be an absolutely horrendous end to this game in terms of the defence. The crowd. Wilfried Nancy. It's not going to be a good sight. The players trudging off the pitch to an empty stadium, and now they go into the Scottish Cup final, don't they? Into a big, big game against St Mirren. Kenneth says, no, Mo Salah will go in January. I think so too, Kenneth, yeah. And Adrian says, Arne Slot out of the World Darts Championship. Is that Van Gerwen? Is that Van Gerwen out? Celtic corner, cleared away by Roma, only as far as the referee. Balls ended up back at Celtic. User 688, is Ferguson still playing? I think he is, yeah. I don't think he's gone off, has he? Oh no, he has, he did. He went off for Bailey. Yeah, he went off for Bailey, who had a goal disallowed, so it could have been 4-0 to Roma. He's played well tonight though, Ferguson. I think he'd probably be my man of the match. At full time, I'd unless anything happens in the next 10 minutes and Celtic somehow managed to drag a point out of this, I think it's probably going to be Ferguson. Evan Ferguson, man of the match, which really does raise his profile, and Brighton will be delighted about that. Adrian says, Darius Labanaukas looks a spit of slot. No denying he's Lithuanian with a name like that. Darius Labanaukas. Labanauskas. He does look a little bit like Slot, doesn't he? Although he's a lot older. Pup says, time to get the barriers and sharks at the ready. Here we go, Roma. Oh, nearly 4. It is. Oh, no, blocked. Good block from Celtic at the back. Look at them. Honestly, they are streaming for the exits here at Parkhead. They're absolutely streaming for the exits. Kenneth says, Scottish League final cup on Sunday. Yep. Yep. Celtic v St Mirren. Is he going to lose his first three games as Celtic manager? I don't think we were talking about it earlier. I don't think we've seen that before, have we? A Celtic manager losing his first 3 games. I don't recall it in my lifetime anyway. So if Celtic were to lose in a cup final, you've lost your first 3 games, one of them being a cup final. I mean, you've got to stick with the manager. You've got to back him. You can't be Wilfried Nancy out so soon. But he's not had a promising start if that's the case. Will says, one of the options Bournemouth are looking at to replace Semenyo if he goes is Otele from Bâle. FC Star Bucharest 3, Feyenoord 3, user 688. Is he going to do a slot? Who going to do a slot? Wilfried Nancy. What? Win the league in his first year? Maybe. Could do. Could do. Every chance. They're only a couple of points behind Hearts and they've got a game in hand, haven't they? So, every chance. Kev says, Key, great podcast, buddy. Keep your honesty rolling on, bud. In brother Wilf Tone, we must trust. You've got to stick with him, haven't you? I'm at least, if nothing else, Kev, I'm consistent. There's plenty of Liverpool fans give me stick for my opinion and view on Arne Slot, but we've lost 9 in 12, and I'm still saying slot in. You've got to stick with the manager. You don't gain anything from sacking a manager like that. The only club I've ever known to do well from sacking managers repeatedly is Chelsea. Every other club where it becomes a bit of a merry-go-round, they always end up losing out. They always end up instability and crumbles underneath them. But I appreciate that, Kev. I really do. That's a very, very nice comment, mate. And it means, believe me, it means an awful lot to me. Especially on nights like this, where it's not the best game. It's not been the best game, has it? Pissilli is going off. Celtic have played a bit Pissilli tonight, haven't they? Angelino coming on for Pissilli. Angelino's careers took a bit of a dive as well. Kev, you'll never walk alone. You too, buddy. Hopefully Celtic season picks up after this one. Oh, that's so poor. That's really poor. Trusty carrying it into midfield. Chance. Oh, it's going to be a corner. Mancini, good defending at the back. I don't even think it was. I think it was Ralston, that, wasn't it? I don't know why I said Trusty. I think it was Ralston who was carrying it forward. Last 5. This is a tough night. You can see, to be fair, you can see Engels shaking his head. You can see now they're panning the camera around Parkhead, and it is borderline empty. It's a very, very poor end to this game, and you can see they've then gone to the Celtic board. See, I don't like that. I don't like that. That's very, very harsh. The guy's only been in the job 2 minutes, and I know it's not a very good performance. I understand that. But he's not getting real spirit out of these either. I don't think he's very long for the job, actually. And that was the first thing I said before. I think before even Roma scored. Before Roma even scored, I was saying it doesn't look to me as if these Celtic players are busting a gut. And usually the first week, or at least the first month that a manager comes in, they are all bouncing. They're all desperate to prove themselves. They're all itching to get on the pitch and show that they can get in the team, that they are, you know, I should be starting, that I can deliver what you want, Mr. Manager. It's just a general apathy. It all feels a bit flat at Celtic. And when a new manager comes in and it still feels flat, it's up to that new manager to kind of just raise the tempo, raise the energy a little bit. All feels very, very flat. If you know, you know. Says Celtic, small team in Scotland. And user 688 says, bring Martin O'Neill back. I don't think O'Neill wanted the job permanently. Celtic, again, giving it away. That's been the issue for me tonight. It's frustrated the life out of me, and I'm not a Celtic fan. It's frustrated the life out of me watching Celtic give the ball away so cheaply, repeatedly. Like, without fail. Honestly, the only one who has looked, and it's been Iheanacho since he's come on. Look at that again. That is awful. That is dreadful. They're in again here, Roma. Oh, yeah, it's shocking. They can't pass the ball 5 yards. Can't pass it 5 yards. It's awful. Iheanacho does well. That's going to be a foul, ref. And that's going to be a yellow card. Poor. Will says, who are the owners of Celtic? I don't know. Who are the owners of Celtic? Is it like a conglomerate type of thing, or Celtic PLC? Yeah. Celtic PLC. Brand nil, Fenerbahce 4. Well, I tell you what, unless Celta Vigo can turn it around against Bologna in the last minute, my Acker's down. Ball whipped in, unlucky, cleared away. Oh, come on. Give the home fans something to cheer at least. Look at that. That's sackable, that is absolutely sackable. You can't pass 5 yards, and it's not even just one player. There's about 10 of them. Every single one can't pass 5 yards. It's awful from Celtic. Really poor. Evan and Dicker. Roma just controlling the play here now. They're passing it around. They've got the freedom of Glasgow here. And now we're getting a bit of an ole as well, I think, from the away fans. Oh, that's a great pass in. If Roma score here, it's been a good goal because they've had the ball for about 10 minutes. What's that? Hey, they can give the ball away as well. User 688, 5k. Cheers, mate. Thank you for that, User 688. What a guy. Will says, Key, have you got your present sorted for Xmas? I have. Yes, I have got my present sorted for Christmas. Yeah, little girl's taken care of. I haven't really got anything for the missus. Yeah. But to be honest, I don't know. We haven't really got... I think this year we've got pretty much an agreement that she's not going to get much for me and I'm not going to get much for her, so we'll just get some bits. Just some bits for each other. But my little girl's taken care of. That's the main thing. I'm not really bothered about anyone else. Or me. I don't care. I'm not that bothered. As long as my little girl's got 20 things or whatever I say 20 things. She's got about 50 things, to be honest. They're all little K-pop stuff or whatever. I don't know. Stuff she likes. It's a mum who's done it for her more than anything. I've picked some stuff, but yeah, we've got it all. It's all stashed away in the North Pole. User 688, she's got you. Hey, that's it. That's the main thing in it at the end of the day. Graham Addison, Villa 1-2-1. Yeah, Leon 2-1. Well, Well, listen, it's been a very tough watch tonight, this one. Not just the game, but also I've had some technical issues, so I apologise. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, some slight technical issues. Jag says, start gifting your little one football shirt. I'm starting to get, I want to get her into football. I'd love it if she got into football half as much as me. I'd love nothing more than that, actually. When she gets a bit older, I can go and take her watching some footy. But if she's into dancing or horse riding or whatever it is, I'm cool with that too. Oh, shot on target for Celtic. Yeah, so apologies. I don't know what it was. I'll try and figure it out. But again, I have no idea why it went a little bit jittery tonight on the live. So apologies for that. It's been a bit crap with the mic as well. Everything's been a bit crap. Technical difficulties galore tonight. So TikTok's been a bit quiet. YouTube's been a bit quiet. Even though we've been flying recently. So I'll aim to make tomorrow's live West Brom against Sheffield United a lot better. We'll see how that one goes. But if you're watching along, if you want to help me out, if you want to make me feel a bit better because it was a bad live tonight, if you want to make me feel a bit better, hit like on the video and click subscribe if you haven't already. Massively helps me if you could. Thank you very much. Get her an LFC kit, says user 688. I think she's got a couple, to be honest, but she grows out of them. At this age, they just grow dead quick. Jag says change the channel name to Premier League Dad and Daughter. Could do, yeah, if she's into it. But again, right now, absolutely not. She's not even... although saying that, no, I would never put her on the internet. That's like a hard pass. I would never ever put my little girl on the internet. You can't do that. Plenty of you do, and that's up to them, but no, I wouldn't. Too many weirdos. I don't mind them ogling me. But they're not ogling me little girl. Mad Pup says, Aberdeen, we're getting close to a goal, but no luck tonight. Yeah, Strasbourg with the away win at Pittodrie. Last 40 seconds here at Parkhead. It's a difficult night, that. Jordan says, Benjamin Casey crying after the game because he got minutes in a European game, making me want to cry. Benjamin Casey, is he a Palace player? Young Palace player? That's nice, isn't it? That's really nice. Jag, yeah, that's smart. Keep him innocent for as long as possible. Well, that, but also just generally, you can't underestimate how weird some people are. Like, I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe... I will write a book about the first 12 months of Premier League, Dad. You would not believe some of the stuff you've had. And I'm just regular Joe. I'm not even like heaven forbid what an attractive young female gets, or even an attractive young bloke. I don't know what they get, but I get absolutely shocking stuff. Jordan says, yeah, he's only 17, bless him, first ever Palace game in the first team. Oh, that's nice. That's big for him and his family. User 688, 6K. Oh, cheers for that, mate. What a guy you are. Thank you very much for that, mate. Thank you. Right. Well, it's full time here at Parkhead. It's been an awful night, hasn't it, for Celtic? 3-0 down pretty early in the game, and it was effectively dead and buried at half-time. We didn't get any goals in the second half. It was flat as a pancake. But Roma with the Glasgow double. They beat Rangers earlier this season. They've added Celtic to that list. And that is me for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow for Sheffield United against West Brom at the Hawthorn. So if you want to join me for that, please do. Get over to YouTube, click the notification bell, make sure you've subscribed. I'll be live tomorrow. I'm live all weekend as well. Liverpool against Brighton. That's a massive one. An absolutely massive one for Mo Salah, whether or not he's playing. And yeah, and then Arsenal Wolves on the evening on Saturday. Sunday we're doing the time weird derby, Sunderland Newcastle. Monday night, Bournemouth against United. Couple of very, very big games coming up, so make sure you followed all that good stuff. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take it easy. Have a nice night.